I don't know if you guys have seen that. Oh, hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I am coming at you today with the last seat number 2 with all
Whoop,
of us
whoop.
from the Sharpie community.
Whoop,
And
whoop.
we are going off and we are interviewing Hiro from the SHIRO community. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and
Hi,
subscribing.
Dashi.
Free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways, Patreon, so super thanks button down below, super chats as well. Have you guys heard or have you seen the trailer for the new Freaky Friday 2, like 20 years later?
No.
Did you guys see the first?
Hiro looks freaky. He was frozen. His eyes were rolled up in his head. But no, I haven't seen it.
Did you guys see the first one?
No.
Did see the first one. I
Oh, I
did see the first
Hold
one.
up, you didn't see the first one?
I think I constantly disappoint Randy because
You
I
do?
like when Hiro met me, he was like, "Have you seen this movie?" I'm like, "Nope." He's like, "Have you seen this show, Game of Thrones?" I was like, "No." I mean, we had like 4 years of stuff to watch because
Jesus.
I'm really bad. Sorry. No,
Like,
I've
what
never
did
seen
you-
Freak. No, I don't know.
What did you do in your I don't want to say in your like teenage years? Were you just like out touching grass and talking to people? Like,
Yes, I think so. I don't know what I did. What did I do? I know it's really pathetic sometimes, like, but like I'm watching we're watching like 2005 Big Brother right now because I'd never seen Big Brother and it's so old and dated, but I just never saw those shows. I don't know. Well, I don't know what I was doing.
with Big
Movie
Brother,
shows.
I feel like you've seen them one, you've seen them all. I feel like as far as pop culture relevancy, Big Brother is not even in like the top 100. It's probably not even in the top 500 or even 1,000. But yeah, it was big for a while.
Yeah, I didn't think I would like it, but then I, like, got hooked on the first one. There was, like, some drama in the house, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta see what happens," but anyway, long story short, there are a lot of things, and I apologize, like, Hiro can speak in movie, like, references, and he can speak in, like he'll say things, and then he just starts laughing, and I'm like, "What the hell? What? I don't is that from a movie?" And he's like, yeah." I'm like, "Okay, well." Sorry.
That-
I I think your phone's on mute, Hiro. Your phone.
Yeah, Hiro, we cannot hear you. We see your mouth moving, but it looks like you're trying to get peanut butter out of your mouth, or you're just like.
Can't hear
How about
ya.
now?
Yes.
Oh, yes, much better.
Yeah, there you
Okay.
are.
Weird. Okay, I'll just hold my phone. I'm having all kinds of audio issues.
Okay.
But
So,
anyway, yeah.
Hiro,
Back to Freaky Fridays.
What about Freaky
I said back to Freaky Friday. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it's just it's just awesome. Like it's like 20 years later, and then they go through it again. It's like, oh, this is great. I love Lindsay Lohan. I love Jamie Lee Curtis, and this is gonna be a fun thing. I can't wait. It's all over TikTok. Speaking of all over TikTok, and Hiro, you're a spokesperson for SHIRO. So we know their X is just SHIRO, but do they have other social medias? Does SHIRO Instagram? Does SHIRO TikTok?
There is or there was a SHIRO Instagram, a SHIRO TikTok, but it really never got broadcasted in the way it probably should have, given that there's so much great animation. We do have some great artists on the team, but there is an incoming plan to have a pretty massive rollout of our socials on TikTok and Instagram. So you'll be seeing those links very soon with a lot of new content, a lot of bringing SHIRO to life. I know that like SHIRO, we're working on giving him a personality that people can connect with, right? Like this, as a cat. Cats have so much personality. So, the direction of the coming animations and even the artwork that's coming out is giving him more of a mischievous, kind of side where, he has his owner and he has kind of a mischievous side where he does little things to kind of like screw things up or, and I think it's going to be, kind of the idea of like bringing a character that you can kind of connect with, especially as a cat, right? Like cats are very connectable. They do whatever they want. They have their own kind of mindset. And I love that idea of kind of bringing that to life in a meme.
Agreed. Love cats. Obviously, I'm one of the main people working on the daCAT project, so we'll try to have a collab or crossover at some point, because I'm writing a comic, you guys are writing a comic. Hero, do you take your ability to speak in movie and pop culture references, and do you help put that in the comic? Who's the main writer behind it?
So our main writer is actually our artist as well. We actually have a team of 2 or 3 artists that are working on the comic. And he actually started it. He's never done comic work. He's always done animations and artwork. And I think he's really kind of got into this idea of the comic book. And he really, in talking to him the other day, he was like, I started writing this story and I can't wait to just get to the story, right? Because he's doing the artwork at the same time he's making the comic. And then we have a vote every week where there's 2 directions and our community gets to choose which path the comic takes. But he's like, I want to actually just start a medium and start writing the storyline out and build this story, because he's kind of getting really into it now that he's started. And he said, he's starting to think about doing, multiple pages per week. And, I love the daCAT crew. I love the daCAT comic. I think that, I've really, I've never been a huge comic book person. Like when I was a kid, I collected comic book cards. I collected some comic books, but I was just, a collector that would just not touch it, right? Like I wouldn't even open it. But now, like with crypto and crypto coming into the comic books, I kind of have a renewed interest in this, right? Like from my childhood, I'm seeing like a renewed interest in like these storylines and bringing Web 2 into Web 3 through crypto. And I think that we have an opportunity here to kind of bring people back, right? Like those people that, kind of are nostalgic, right? Like I'm in my 40s, but like, your people in your 30s and 40s that really had these comic books and were really into them as younger adults and really bring them back into that world. I think that you can do that through crypto, and I'm kind of excited to see the direction. I know that we have really big plans with this comic on our end. We are going to have some printed hard copies of the comic for collection. And we plan on doing some pretty cool things with it. So I'm excited about it.
So give me a couple of days on it, and then we'll talk about Vivi, and then seeing how we can get you potentially in that comic curator program. This way you could kind of do that with us, because I've read at least the first X amount of pages of that comic, and it was entertaining. It was good. It was one, I love like the artwork of him just in the depths of space, and just his little toe beans out, is just having a good time. It reminds me of Pinkie Pie from like then they were teasing My Little Pony season like 4 or whatever, and she's just jumping out of a party cannon, just having the time. He looks like he's having the time of his life. SHIRO is a dude, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you know what? I actually was part of this project for about almost a month before I figured that out. But yes, SHIRO is, and actually he's modeled off of a real life cat that's very popular on YouTube and Instagram. And actually, I just found that out just recently. So we're planning on kind of wrapping and evolving around that as well.
Okay. Yeah. So that, and I have a fairly mainstream taste in comics. Well, I really like good writing. I know a lot of people, they're not going to read something if the artwork is trash. This artwork is obviously very appealing, very good. And just cats are cute. But there's a lot of modern comics that I've read, the last like 5-10 years, and some, they're like, okay, there's some that are really good. But this is better than, it might be because I really like cats. I just love animals, and this thing is freaking cute, and it's well written, and I like the interactions. But it's like I want to see more, and I'm excited to see, like, it kept my attention the whole time. Like, there's a recent one that was out on VV, and it's a Marvel one. It was, if it loads, I'll go to my collection and tell y'all which one it is. It is One World Under Doom, #1. So it came out like a few weeks ago, and the second half was really good. And I was like, oh, I see what they were doing now. But the first half is just like, this is okay. And I kept reading just because I wanted, like, to say, like, I read it, get to the end of the story. But you guys, like, right away in that first page, like, I was entertained, and I was like hooked from the first page. What's he doing? Okay, he's pawing this little thing. What does that do? Who's this guy? He's cloaked, and now he's a normal. So it's like every single page, there was something that intrigued me and caught my eye. And again, I love One World Under Doom, but for the first half of that comic, I was like, yeah, it's all right. And I was kind of like almost like a chore, like reading it to get through it. And then obviously the second half was heckin' amazing. But the fact that you guys did that, I think is pretty important and pretty impressive, because again, I read a lot of these comics, and I know this is only one of the things you guys are working on. Outside of the comic, what else are you guys, how else are you getting the SHIRO IP out there?
Oh man. So I've talked about this on a few spaces now, but really our whole idea as a crypto project in SHIRO, and I'm also, I mean, people watching this know I'm also part of Sharby, and I think that being part of crypto projects, and as part of crypto, you want to make people feel like part of something, right? Like, the whole idea is bringing someone into a meme coin. And you bring them into a meme coin by making them feel like part of a community. You give this feeling of being a community, and it's such an important thing to really be, part of something, and to so with SHIRO, the real benefit of being in SHIRO is really being part of the community in SHIRO. And we as a team are really lucky enough to have a community that's built over a few months period, that's very strong, that's very supportive, that really wants to be a part of this. And you can tell, like, when you go into the community, you have a community full of people wanting to do things. And then we as a team have a lot of supply set aside to reward community. So we're constantly, like, doing bounty programs where, if somebody makes a TikTok video, or somebody makes a fan page, or somebody does something special, or is just part of the community and constantly welcoming people, we're giving back to the community. The whole thing right now with meme coins, and being part of meme coins for many years now, I feel like we're kind of getting to the point where there's so many out there, right? There's just so many meme coins existing out there in the world, and you have to have your unique angle. And I think that that's important to identify, right? As a meme coin, what sets us apart? Why do we have value aside from the meme, right? Aside from our community? And with SHIRO, the big thing, the big draw was that, the animations, the artwork, being a cat coin, and really, there are not cat coins that have really gone to the level of, a SHIB or a Doge, and cats have never really gotten their recognition in this market, even though I mean cats and dogs are, like I don't even know the stats, but like people love cats, right? Like people love dogs, people love cats, right? Like but in meme coin world, they've never really gotten there. Well, I think that what's going to happen with meme coins, with what's happened, you're seeing people right now kind of get tired of just the same memes, right? Like that's why you're seeing right now this pullback in the meme coin market that's just oversaturated. And so it's important to identify what sets you apart. And for SHIRO, there's multiple things in development. One being an AI sentiment bot with staking. And so we're going to have a staking engine that has an AI bot in our Telegram that will measure, the community sentiment. If they're working hard, if they're sharing on X, if they're doing things, they can earn a higher APY on their staking percentage. And it's unique. It's developed by PAL AI, which is another huge project. And this staking platform is just about ready to go. We are actually finalizing things with the team now, and then we're going to do like a marketing rollout into the staking platform. It is a dual staking platform, so you can stake SHIRO, you can earn SHIRO and SHIB to start, but it has the ability to add other partner projects, other really cool things. And SHIRO was always built around this storyline. You see in the animations, there's a lot of talk about SHIB and, kind of following the footsteps of SHIB and the path and the journey. We are lucky enough to have many of the, the SHIB admins and early day marketers and idea people, kind of working with us on the project. Because of that, we have a strong development with SHIB. Like right before the launch of SHIRO, SHIRO bought and burned $100,000 worth of SHIB token. We are doing dual staking for SHIB. We are building our own bridge to Shibarium, which is the SHIB L3. And that is coming soon. And that is going to be an open source bridge where we can add any token that wants to bridge to Shibarium to it. So, we're adding utility on top of the meme. And then also we're going to have, more videos. We're going to have more animations. We're going to develop this character storyline out with SHIRO and Alex's owner and really have fun with it and really create a storyline that, through animations, through comic books, through, these other things, we want to really break through that Web3 into real world, right? Like, that is always your goal, right? Like that is when you've really made it as a project, is when people that, when your grandma starts asking about SHIRO Nico, right? Like, hey, I heard about this. What is that? Right? Like, that's when you've really kind of made it as a project, right? And for SHIRO, we're going to constantly have these contests and these things to do the real world. So we actually had a contest a few weeks ago that was really fun, and it was find SHIRO. And we had these posters that the community would put up all over, and it had the website on it, but it had like a find SHIRO on it, and people would take pictures of hanging it up on windows or in New York City with like people holding it up, and it was really fun. It was just seeing SHIRO kind of get out, come off the screen, right? And the community had a lot of fun with it. We gave out some prizes and rewards to the community for that. So, ideas like that where you're really doing things that, really give an opening into Web3 to people that wouldn't normally have it. And that's what meme coins are going to be best at, right? Like that's why meme coins are so successful is they're relatable. right? Like we create something relatable. Somebody sees a video and they're like, oh, that's a cute cat, right? Like somebody sees a comic book and they're like, oh, I love that story. Like what is going on? Where is Shiro? Like, and that's, kind of the next evolution from where we are at now. That's kind of our goal. That was a long worded answer, but
Oh, I love that. And before I get to any follow-up or like legit follow-up questions, we just talked about everyone loves cats. That triggered like a core memory. There was a viral video maybe like 12 years ago, or maybe like five, that whenever eHarmony was big, this one girl on her dating profile had on eHarmony said like why she loved cats. And like 3 minutes into it, she started crying. She's like, I love cats so much and I can't. And then someone remixed it and they auto-tuned it. It was the greatest thing. Have you seen that?
I have seen that. I have seen that. Woo!
That is amazing. She hasn't seen Freaky Friday, but she saw that.
That's
I have
awesome.
seen that.
Although,
It was
that's,
funny.
you've redeemed yourself in my eyes.
Gosh.
So on the so people don't know, like there are certain meme coins that have, let's say, like multi-million-dollar market caps, like Tetherball came out last year, and they had I think they started with like a $8 or $10 million market cap, and then they've slowly gone down. It's still 5 million, but you guys started, and now you guys are at, as according to Gecko Terminal, that's called like $13 million market cap, and you have the volume there too. You have 21K in volume on the day, whereas something like T-Ball, $5 million market cap, has no volume. This is, it's bigger than the cat. Like there's a company called Definity that they have like a couple hundred institutional clients, and I can't say what they're doing, but they are doing a lot of money each and every day on that onboarding and offboarding on crypto, in the millions of dollars. Like they're not making that. That's just the amount of volume that they're able to do, and they get a part of it. But the volume on their token is like is less than you guys. It's like 10K. So how do you go, and I know you've gone out there with expanding the IP in any way that you can in doing this, but for the token side, is there a roadmap specifically for the token? Because obviously there's a roadmap for the comics and the IP and videos that you make, but for the token specifically, where do you guys want to be?
Yeah. So I mean, the goal of Shiro is to become the biggest cat coin. It really is, and we're very driven to make that the case. If you look at PopCat or Mog, right? Mog hit $1 billion market cap, but it took a long time. It took over like almost 2 years before they finally eclipsed that. So we're here to build over time. Shiro had a massive launch, right? Like it hit some crazy numbers at launch, and we've been fighting the market like everyone else, right? Like the market has been brutal on meme coins and cat meme coins, whatever meme coin you kind of look at. That's kind of like if you look at Mog, for example, they went down 80 something percent from their all-time high in the last 3 months, and we launched 3 months ago. So like we launched into this market for meme coins that really is tough. And we've had our struggles, right? Like we were in hundreds of millions of market cap, and now we're sitting at 13-14 million. But what's happened with that is you have this core community that's really come together in a way only crypto can really bring projects and people together. I think, I think that, this core community's come together, and now it's given an opportunity for, supply accumulation. We're in like a consolidation mode right now. But the team has a roadmap that's built out over months of time, right? Like we have this plan that's really set to go into place. So we have actually had months to plan this, a couple of months to really plan this out. And now we're just timing the market, right? Like the market's been rough. You don't want to release an AI sentiment engine that's never been introduced before into a market that's just steadily going down, right? Like, so right now for us, it's community building time, it's consolidation time while we're planning. And so, you know, these developments have been happening in the background while we're getting ready. But we're ready. Like our AI sentiment staking is ready to go. So like, it's you know, it's really now, when is the market going to give us this confirmation that at least it's going to consolidate and stop dropping, right? Like that's really it, right? Like as long as the market is going sideways, you know, meme coins are going to have it really going well. You know, Ethereum volume is very, very low still. Like it's kind of down, but we're ready to go. So really our plan around the coin revolves around the community. It revolves around the AI sentiment staking. We're going to open up a pairing on Shibarium. We're going to have a bridge, but we're going to do a huge marketing rollout into our staking platform. So we have basically a 7 to 10 day huge marketing rollout. We have what we're calling the SHIRO wall of green wall buy contest that we're going to roll out. We're going to have a lot of YouTube videos made on our utilities, you know, that are coming out along with the animations. We're going to have a full KOL rollout into kind of the staking where you know, we're going to, you know, incentivize people to stake. And what really sets SHIRO apart on the tokenomics side is there's 15% of the supply set aside for staking rewards for the community. So the staking is going to be legit, right? Like it's going to be, you know, for our whale holders, for our highest tier, it's going to be over 100% APY for the staking. So you know, we're going to have the staking, right?
Is that 100% like per year?
Yeah. So, so the staking is going to be a huge part of it. And right now, our supply left on Uniswap is just over 1% of the total supply. With what we're creating, with what we're doing, with demand, what we're going to try and create with staking and with staking up supply for up to, I think the longest term is going to be 150 days on the staking platform for the first round. That's locking up supply for 5 months. So if we can lock up a large portion of the supply and bring in you know, demand, and there's only 1% left on Uniswap, it's going to create a supply shock that, you know, really is going to drive price. And that's, you know, kind of our goal. We've been you know, accumulating. We have a really good budget kind of planned out. We have you know, a lot of supply to reward our community, and really you know, everything's been planned out for this big rollout and to continue to roll out after that. I think there will be more developments to come, you know, as far as you know, the tech side as well. You know, we're not going to stop with just the bridge and the staking, but you know, right now those are our two really big things, and I think that, you know, we have some major partnerships ready to come, and some big rollouts that we plan to have rolling out. So there's a lot going on in the SHIRO world right now, and it's really about figuring out, you know, when to best release it for the good of the community. And you see, like our community, like they're solid. Like you know, they're here. They show up in force. They support, and I mean, just in our groups, like you can tell, like these people are starting to really come together and really become friends, you know. And I love that about Web3 and what it does.
Yeah, I enjoy that too. So I also should mention that when I was talking before about the market cap and the volume, the 22,000 in volume is just on Uniswap. And that's not including all the, I'll just go over it real quick, where obviously anyone that has a MetaMask or a Coinbase wallet, you can get SHIRO there, but You would also be able to get it on Lebank, Bitmart, Mexi, XT.com, Gate.io, Ourbit, Biloxi, and non-KYC IO. I would not recommend doing that because you'd have to pay a much higher price, because their price on it is not 7 zeros, 1 2 or 1 3. It's like 5 zeros, 6034. So you wind up paying a bit more. So I would definitely not get it there. But anywhere else, and the volume on all these places combined is over 2 million. It's like 2.3 million. So I just want to make that correction that I said before, in case people were wondering, like, oh, 20K is not a ton of volume. That was just on Uniswap. So the rest of it goes. But let's see where that volume be coming from. So that is, oh, okay. Most of it's on LBank. That's 1.6 million on LBank, and the rest you have in the tens of thousands and stuff. But
that's actually kind of surprising. That's actually kind of surprising. I'm curious as to where that really came from, because usually Mexi kind of leads our way on the volume side.
Today Mexi's got like 3% of it. The rest, 20% is on Bitmart. Bitmart has 20% of the volume, and the rest is all under 3%. Mexi is close, like 2.88, but yeah, the volume's from LBank and Bitmart. So whales be whaling.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah.
Before we move further, we have a request here. I don't know if I can find it. There's a lot of comments here. Oh yeah, they asked me to ask you if you could meow for us. That'd be great.
Oh, all dolled up first.
Okay, you do it first. All dolled up.
Meow.
All right. Meow. There you go.
Oh, that was good. That was
good. That was good. I enjoyed that.
That's a good one.
So who owns like the IP of it? Like who's does the creator, do they have the IP and they trademarked it? Do you have part of it? Sold Out Up have part of it for the SHIRO IP?
The team is actually working on filing trademarks as we speak. So
sweet.
Currently there is really not, but yeah, the team is working on it. I do know there was another project that saw our videos like months before launch and launched a SHIRO Nero or SHIRO Nico token, and then claimed that they were first, and that, but they're dead now and gone. So we're here, we're building, and yeah, we need to get that trademark finished, because it is going to be a very important piece going forward.
Yeah, that SHIRO Nico is that says CTO on it.
Yeah.
And it's not really the CTO. Okay, yeah. So guys, be advised, the one that says SHIRO Nico CTO is like number 7,000 whatever. It's got like a 30-something thousand dollar market cap, $600 in volume. That is not the one that we were talking about at all.
No, they launched and they went to some millions before our launch. So there was a period of time there where there was a lot of they were pretty ruthless against us. and we tried to take the high road, good luck to you, and but we're going to continue to build, basically, is what we decided. And we're locked in long term. Everyone that knows me knows that I will never give up on a project. I'll never stop working for a project. Sharby being that example. I mean, we were rugged like 4 times on Sharby, right? Like I'll never give up on a project that I love and a community that I've really invested in. And I think that's that's something that I plan on being here, working for a long time to really get to where we want to be.
That reminds me of sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Hold on.
No, I just wanted to back up for maybe other projects or people listening on the patent part, because when so we have Sharby is filed also, right? We want to own Sharby. We want to own that character, and that stuff has been filed already on the Sharby side. SHIRO also was in the process of doing that. But in the very beginning, when if your meme coin just launched or whatever. I would have never thought we needed that. But if you have a community, it's not a beer. It's not a beer. If you have a community or you have your meme at some point in time, like we're over 2 years old in Sharby, and we're doing stuff with Randy now, right? And that was a question. Randy was like, "Oh, do you guys own Sharby?" It's like, well, yeah, that stuff's already filed, because there might be opportunities that come across for your community and your investors in your project where that's going to be advantageous for you to have, especially if there's the opportunity to partner with, say, a comic or partner with someone who might, release merchandise or whatever, and you want to own your character. You want to have rights to that character. And, 2 years later here in Sharby, it's like, well, I'm glad, Lunar and Sharby, like he did that. And I'm glad we had the wherewithal to go and do that. Same with SHIRO, because there's going to be partnerships or opportunities that come up and you're going to want to own that character or own that asset, right? It becomes an asset in itself, the character. So anyway, just wanted to say that like I never thought about it, but now, like 2 years later, it's good that we have something, we have that in place, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a meme coin. Everything is about your brand. Your brand is everything. Everything you do is about building awareness to that brand, right? Every piece of artwork you do, every time you post on X, it's all about growing that brand, and that is, the most important part. So if you're not protecting that, you're really getting yourself into possibly a spot where it could be a trouble.
Yeah. Before we started doing anything like major with daCAT, I made sure to get the trademark for the IP and get the website and all that. And then afterwards, like, okay, we can we can start now. We're good. We are. So I don't. Who is authorized to, and I assume you probably have some say in it as well, to make some deals for SHIRO, be like, whether it's advertising deals, whether it is affiliate deals, for anyone that in here that might be a KOL, for anyone in the comments that might be looking to partner or collab, who's the best to go to for that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a networker. That's what I do. So you can reach out to Crypto Hero. I'm everywhere. I'm in SHIRO. I'm in Sharby. I'm in daCAT. I'm in I'm everywhere. I'm a networker, and it's actually something that I've never seen myself as in like real world, but in crypto I've found this and I love it. Like, I love networking. I love meeting people. And anything for SHIRO that you need, I'm here. I can, I am I am part of the SHIRO team. I am our speaker, obviously, but also, I've become part of the team. I was brought in about 3 or 4 weeks after launch, and it really. I enjoy it. I've really enjoyed integrating with another project, right? Because I've been just Sharby for so long, and now working with a team that's so strong, that's so knowledgeable. I'm learning a lot, and and also able to add my strengths to the team. So reach out to me, and I have a lot of say, and can really set up anything that we may need.
Okay, so there's I guess there's a couple things. You mentioned that there's 15% in the wallet specifically for staking.
Yep.
How much is in there for any type of marketing?
Yeah, so I would have to look online, but actually, if you look on Etherscan, we actually have a set of labeled wallets. And something that was unique about SHIRO's launch, and for good or for bad, right? Like, this is something that happened at launch, and I personally wouldn't have done it this way, right? Like I have to say, I would not have done it this way because it was marketed as a fair launch. It was a fair launch. They had all the supply put on Uniswap, but basically at launch, the devs that originally launched it did like a huge snipe of their own project. So basically sniped a ton of supply. And when I came in, basically we had all this snipe supply that wasn't really wasn't really transparent, right? It was kind of like snipe supply and hundreds of different wallets, and the whole idea was they wanted to make sure that no other snipers got in because it was this huge launch. They wanted to make sure that no other snipers got in and really screwed the project up, right? So basically, when I came in, started working with the team, we set up labeled wallets, and we basically set up a map of what all the supply would be used for. So we have 15% set aside for staking. We had like 10% set aside for centralized exchanges. I think there was 10% set aside for marketing, and then also a huge portion set aside for burns. We have like over 16% of our supply burned right now, and we're constantly burning supply. So right now, what we do, instead of doing like massive burns, we do community reward burns every week. So like, we'll do based on how many votes you get on the comic book, or how many, if you do something special as a community, we reward in burns. This last week, we actually had a community member make a Plinko game, and we played Plinko to see how much we burned. And so,
I love that. Sorry,
it was really cool.
It takes me back.
Yeah. So now we're all talking about having like these Price is Right games, kind of made for like having community rewards and burns. But long story short, the community has the project supply is all in labeled wallets. It's all on Etherscan. If you go to the holders list, you'll see them labeled. There's a SHIRO marketing, SHIRO community rewards, SHIRO staking. There's our advisor wallets, our team wallets, and really, these are what we're using to fund the project. But you also see that it's all transparent, right? Like everything is on the blockchain. Now we can really, like, if somebody comes and says, "Hey, what happened here?" we can say, "Oh yeah, this is what happened. This is what we're doing," and really, we're trying to be as transparent as possible. Like I'm here, right? Like, you see me, like this is a project where we're here, we're out in front. We have weekly updates. We want to answer the community's questions. We want to really give a safe place to invest. And and that's the best we can do as a team, right? Is to do what we've done with it from that initial launch, because it was a mess, right? Like I feel like it was a mess. It created this terrible situation that we had to really strategize around as a team, and really come up with a way that we could make the community, feel safe and build trust. And so all of those team wallets are built into a multi-sig. It takes 3 of 5 signatures to be able to do any transactions from those multi-sigs. And, it's a structure that we've worked out really well among our team. And it's I think that the team's a powerhouse. Like there's people that have run exchanges. There are people that have been, marketers in like early days of some of the biggest projects. And really, this team is starting to come together and gel, in a way that I think is going to be really unique and create some really great things for SHIRO.
Yeah. There's so there's some noise in the daCAT. I don't know if it's one of of your guys, or as we've talked about it, but there's one of the guys that had just purchased some daCAT, has like a major wallet of like 140K worth of just meme coins. And let me see if there's any SHIRO in there, because if they're looking at daCAT and they are buying it, they do not yet have SHIRO, so maybe you might see some buys soon. If they're looking at daCAT and they're going to watch this video, then they'll be like, oh, maybe we'll get some SHIRO as well. So we'll see on that. On Grumpy X's hero wallet is labeled number 37.
Okay. You know Grumpy, right?
Yeah, Grumpy's awesome.
Yeah, Grumpy's awesome. He has his own labeled wallet, and he's been climbing up the ranks as holder. So he is the number 37 holder of SHIRO right now. He is part of our whale group, and I do know there's some daCAT crossover into SHIRO and SHIRO into daCAT. There is definitely some of that. The cat lovers have their love.
They do. There's the other day, it was like 16 out of the 20 top addresses for daCAT are like our ENS, our ENS wallets, and Grumpy X's number .eth is the number 3 wallet. I was like, damn. Yeah, he's going. I told him I'll replace him end of this year as Devi and Omi go up and Affinity and other stuff go up, and I'll get a bunch. So the reason I asked for the marketing wallet here, this is going to be a shameless plug here. So you have Chaos on the Chains that had just commented like nice over on the live with us. Chaos on the Chains has a really big game that's coming out. The beta testing is the beta goes live in a couple weeks, some point next month. They're in the daCAT comic. Sharby kind of got like grandfathered in, because like when we didn't know what we were like doing, was like, yeah, we'll add you in there.
Yeah.
And I'm writing the second comic now, and obviously, spoilers, Sharby like survives the first comic. Sharby's got a much bigger part in the second one. And then I created another character called Shishi, that is kind of like her like right hand. Sharby's like right hand woman, right hand doggo. I had this really fun thing where I guess them and Pro the Doge, like they share a common ancestor, and they split off years back. And I don't know if I should like I can't spoil. I don't want to do any spoilers, but there's some really cool ways about what they do.
Awesome.
You could ask Crappy Bird, contact address down below, and Moon credits as well. When I do sponsorships, I don't sell. I haven't sold. Would you guys want to do some type of sponsorship for the channel?
I believe that would be something we would be interested in. Yes, and we do have a treasury wallet, and our treasury wallet is for this exact type of thing. So pretty good shot on making this happen. Yeah,
let's get this bread. Now, so one of the, and I mean this is a good part of the good problem to have. One of the downer sides of SHIRO here is that it does have a market cap in the 8 figures, because it's $13-ish million market cap. So like 100x is 1.3 billion, and for stuff that, especially in a blow off top bull market for a meme coin, especially one that's popular as this, that has all this coming out, because you have other stuff that's in like the top 200 or top 100 that has like no utility, and it's just, oh, this is a meme, it's funny. But you guys having the staking, you guys having this IP, like I feel like 1.3 billion for at least the stuff that you guys are doing is not outside the realm of possibility. So that 100x is, and none of this financial advice, I'm not saying like, yo, it's locked in, guys, get it now. But just the fact that that's possible is good. But 1,000x to go to like 13 billion, that's like, oh, bro, like everything would have to go right. Like everything, like you'd have to have, and I'm not saying that it can't do that, but just the likelihood of that is 1,000x just not likely. Whereas if you get into something like I'm sure everyone knows a story similar to this. Years ago, a boy found another dog token, and it was Sheeb. Put in like a couple $100. Woke up one day and it was like $250,000. So like that type of thing, unfortunately, probably won't happen here. However, if you go and take a look at the chart, over the last couple months, like this is pretty much the bottom. The last time we had down here at 70s1246, and that was like at the bottom. So based on the chart, it looks like this is a really solid support line. And again, I'm not saying bottom confirmed. Obviously, anything can happen in crypto. If I were a betting man, which I am from time to time, comment down below if you all get that reference. That is, I'd bet dollars to donuts that this is a pretty good place to buy in. Again, just coming from a TA standpoint there. I enjoy, I enjoy the chart. I enjoy what you guys are doing. Sorry, we're not caught up on comments here. Grumpy's a legend. Shout out to Grumpy. Cat Squad. Oh, Cat Squad assemble.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, damn. Peter's got a Triforce. Yo, no way. Go Peter. Go Peter. Well, so all right, 51 minutes. Let's do a so we'll talk about sponsorship, but a crossover. Would you be open to a crossover in comics? I mean, we already finished the first one, but the second one we might have more room. Would you guys want to try to do something on that as well?
Possibly. I would have to talk to our animators on that one. That one is one that they would have to buy in on. But I don't see why we would not be interested, right?
Yeah. Does SHIRO have a girlfriend?
SHIRO does not have a girlfriend currently.
Okay, you have some cross species I don't know what that's called. Some cross species shipping going on here, where they want SHIRO and Sharby to become partners. They'd make, what does white and purple make? Like pink, white and pink. What is that? What do those colors make? Not maroon. Maroon's darker. Light
Like
pink, hot pink.
Yeah, like a lilac.
You guys would have beautiful lilac colored kittens.
Kitten dogs. I don't know.
Cat dogs.
Cat dogs.
Actually, what was it? Our child the other day said something. Yeah.
Weird.
What did he say?
Because our black lab has such long legs, and he always does like cat-like movements, like with his paws. He just is like a cat sometimes. And so our son said, "Do you think Asher's mom was a cat?" And I was like, "You think our black lab's mom was a cat?" Like, we were like, no, but I don't know, maybe. Yeah.
But it is funny because Asher, his name's Asher, and he like, you know how cats like kind of do like that twirl before they like lay down. He does that twirl before he lays down, and then he does like chuffs, kind of like a lion sometimes. Instead of like, like whining at the door, he'll like chuff at you. He actually like will swat our other dog in the face when they're fighting. He'll like use his paw and swat him in the face. So he does definitely have some weird cat vibes, but it was really funny when our 12-year-old is like, "Do you think his mom is a cat?" Like, oh.
There's did you get that dog? Did you get when as a puppy when the cats were like already in the house?
We don't actually have any cats in our house. In Texas, there are not a lot of cats in Texas, which is kind of funny.
Odd, and maybe it's our neighborhood, but that is something we definitely notice. Like, there's not a lot of cats. I mean, maybe they're all indoor. It's hot in Texas. They might just all be indoor, but you don't see a lot of cats like walking around your neighborhood. Maybe one. It's definitely something we noticed. But Slavin, I like it, and I like the emojis, and I have to give a shout out to JM because I love her too. So many great comments today. I love it.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
engagement.
So the reason
Yes.
I asked that is because there's a trend on TikTok of cats who are raised by dogs and dogs who are raised by cats. And I think the dogs who are raised by cats are the funniest because if they want attention, they don't bark. They go up to your legs and they rub against you like a cat would. And then when they sit down, they like tuck their paws in like a cat would, and they like loaf. It's like one of the greatest trends on TikTok that I've ever seen. So that is yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I was wondering if your dog did that, but I
Oh,
guess
that's a good one.
that's a little different.
And so maybe there's a cat that we just don't see because he does that stuff.
Ghost cat.
Yeah, ghost cat.
So, do you guys have does Hero have any NFTs out yet?
SHIRO does not have any NFTs yet. That is definitely something that could be something in the future. It would really go into, kind of our artists' talents, and every piece of media that's posted on the SHIRO account is all hand drawn. So like all the artwork is hand drawn. It's good stuff. Like he does they do great work. And it is one of my initial draws to the project was that whole thing as well, right? That, and then we had this group of friends that we had met in Toronto, that really were, many of them were part of this project, and so it all automatically tripped interest, but it was the artwork, right? Like the artwork drew so many people to this project, and I mean, having some unique NFTs would be awesome. It's really just then, what else gives those NFTs value, right? I think that that there's trying to figure out how to make an NFT more than an NFT these days is really the thing, right? Because with Sharby we had these NFTs a couple of years ago, and they did this huge money raise, and this was before we were really part of the team. That's huge money raise, and the NFTs were cool, and people bought them because they were promised there was going to be some kind of utility attached to them, but they never had a plan for that utility. And now these NFTs are basically just out there, and people are like, "Oh, I wish I wouldn't have spent all this money on these NFTs," right? But so really, like if that were to happen, there'd have to be some really unique things around it. And I have some cool ideas for NFT sets that I've been thinking up anyway. So that's a possibility in the future.
There's something that happens in Pokemon. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos of people going absolutely crazy at the stores for modern day Pokemon cards and fights
We just
breaking
watched
out.
it last night. Our son is so into it.
He's so upset. He said, "Can we find an Ace Hardware? I see they have cards." But he also came to me first thing this morning and said Target's going to stop selling Pokemon cards because of this. And he's just devastated. But he like wants me to drive. We live in a very big city, which it's just spread out. And he like wants me to take him to all these stores, and I'm like, that would take the entire day. But yeah, so we're very keen on the fact that Pokemon is the cards. Yes, keep going. I've been hearing about it all weekend.
So 151 is intense. Prismatic is on the same level. There's this new set called Rivals that's coming out, and so 20 years ago, 25 years ago now. Oh God, I'm so old. They had these cards come out called they had the Dark Chart, like they had the Rocket set come out. And Team Rocket, like there's a certain level at which Pokemon evolve, depending on the species. And Team Rocket is like notorious for like making their Pokemon evolve early. So they had like lower health, like higher attack but lower health, and like lower levels on the cards. And then a few sets later, they had the Gym Challenge and Gym Hero series, where you would be able to not just have a normal Nidoking, you'd have Giovanni's Nidoking and Giovanni's Persian and Lieutenant Surge's Raichu and like Blaine's Charizard and Arcanine, and they're rebringing that back in the Rivals series where they have Giovanni on there, they have Jesse and James, I think they have Butch and Cassidy, and a lot of these dark Pokemon that are the Pokemon of the trainers and of these things, and that's probably going to be like I haven't been into modern Pokemon cards in a while. I stopped. I got out of the game in like 2020, 2021. And none of this was like this. It's huge now. I forget. Oh God, I forget where I was going with this. I'm so sorry. Oh no, I remember. Some of the most valuable Pokemon cards that are out there were given away for free. So there was one that I had called Trophy Kangaskhan, where you could only get it. They handed it out in May of 1998 in a parent-child tournament. They had a rule where if you and a parent entered and you won a certain amount of battles, they gave you that card for free. Maybe there was like 100 out there at one point. There's like 45 or 50 like graded by PSA, and those PSA 10. I sold mine for $279. I think that's still the record. But you could still like only get one now, and maybe you still might have to pay $200K on it. So my idea was like you have a staking program, and maybe you have it like, hey, if you stake X amount of SHIRO, and we might do this with daCAT too. If you stake X amount of SHIRO, and almost anyone can do it, but like you'll get a free NFT. But if you stake, like the more you stake, and the harder you make it to, like the more scarce they become. And we're like the top stakers, if they lock up, however much of the supply or however much they have, maybe there's only like 10 people that could do that, and maybe those NFTs become scarce. And if you have like the royalties on that, so again, we might do that for daCAT, but obviously sharing is caring, so feel free to take that as well.
Yeah, I love that idea. And it's actually funny because I actually, another idea that I have for NFTs is really centered around Pokemon as well, and the whole evolution, right? Like evolving. So like, say you got 3 of a similar NFT, like you could then evolve those up into a higher, that's, I don't want to give too much, but that was kind of something I had thought of as well, as right, like you could buy it, but then it gives value to your basic NFTs as well, because people can on the marketplace say, oh, I have 2 of these, I need 1 more. I'm going to go on the marketplace and buy that 1 more versus trying to mint it, right? And so it really gives a resale value as well as to like being able to evolve up your NFTs. So that's something I've kind of been toying around with too.
That's a good idea. I might do that too. We'll be doing that where anyone that has they stack the comic or they get certain mints or they collect all the sets, we'll airdrop them. We were thinking just tokens, and I think Sharby said, or All Dolled Up said, do that with Sharby, or anyone that gets that, to donate some tokens, and then we'd be because if we give that to people that are in the Crappy Bird community or the Sharby community, like they're not really going to care for daCAT tokens. Some might, but they'll probably swap that for their own token. But if we give them tokens that from their own community, they're like, oh, this is cool, and then they'll hodl it. This way it gets the other IP creators on board because it's not going to create downward pressure on the token. And this way you might also get into more wallets as well.
I would say we would definitely be willing to throw some SHIRO tokens into that as well for your comic sets with daCAT. So let us know when and where to send it, and we'd be happy to throw some supply into that as well.
We will get that bread. All right, cool beans. I don't know how long we had you for. I feel like we've gotten over the hour already.
Yeah, we're at an hour. I think we covered everything I wanted to cover mostly today. I think it was a good talk.
Yeah. All dolled up. I feel like I've monopolized this conversation. What you got, girl?
No, I've loved it. I've loved this. You guys did great. And I think my comments on SHIRO is that it's the same. Like, so as you know, I'm not a big TV person or all of those types of things. But when I watched the little episodes from SHIRO, like I was hooked too. Like I was like, okay, well, show me the next one. I had to see the trilogy, see them all like play out. And so Hero was playing them, and I too, like between the art and the storyline, it got me really quick, and I wanted to keep watching. So, but anyway, I'm proud of these communities, daCAT, SHIRO, Sharby. Like these are the communities that I think people will gravitate towards indefinitely, because they're gonna find, and maybe maybe it's SHIRO, maybe it's daCAT, maybe it's all three, and that's okay too. That's perfect, right? But just constantly building and grinding and doing that for their community, for their investors, it speaks volumes. So yeah, what a great chat. I enjoyed listening and all the engagement from all the communities. I think we hit almost 450 views between I don't even know how many on YouTube, but it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're at, I think, 432 right now.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. So good time.
Yeah, great times. Okay.
And happy St. Patrick's Day. I didn't get to
Happy
say
St.
that.
Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you guys off camera as well.
Yes.
We'll end it here. SHIRO, thank you for coming and telling us all about the SHIRO. I'm excited. I thoroughly enjoy where this is going.
I'm really excited. Really excited. I think that it is really kind of been a crazy market time, and it's given really the ability for projects to take some time and build, which I think is great, because I know with Sharby, the building has taken longer than we'd hoped, but really the market has given a reprieve to be able to do that. I know, like with building a comic book, like it takes time. And so these things are really taking time, and these projects that are building and developing and growing communities during this time are really going to shine. And I think that we all have this opportunity to really shine coming back into the market, coming to what we really expected from the market, because what's really happening is mass adoption. It's just being manipulated like crazy right now, so certain people can get in and whatever, but it is mass adoption happening at the highest levels. And I think that what you're going to see is these building communities, building projects that are doing unique things are going to come out of it in a really great place. And I know that these communities just are diehard communities, and they deserve the best that a team could ever give. And being someone that is part of teams and really growing communities, and I can't wait to see these communities that have gone through all these hard times together be just rewarded. That's going to be the ultimate reward for me as a person. I can't wait for that. That is ultimate. So yeah, and thanks for having us on. I'm always willing to come on and chat it up.
All right, you gave us the option. It is out there now, so we will ask you all the time to come on whenever.
All the time.
All right, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dashi.
See ya.